Hello and welcome to this Warhammer 40k 7th edition video with me, Xenovids. In this video I shall be talking about who are the winners and who are the losers in the new 7th edition. The rulebook has come out and I've been studying it pretty much every night now, and this is just a compilation of who I think the winners and the losers are. I'm going to be talking about armies, but mostly the armies that we play in our Battle League tournament, and it reflects for us. So some of the armies that I don't really play, such as Dark Eldar, Orcs, Sisters of Battle, Imperial Guard, I'm not sure how that will fully help or hinder your armies, but I'm talking about the main ones that we use. I'm also going to be talking about areas of the game and different units that may have got a bit better or a bit worse, in my honest opinion. Okay, first, vehicles. Well, let's just say some vehicles got better. So flyers and Imperial vehicles have got a lot better. Vehicles become a lot more survivable with the damage table, the vehicle damage chart. A lot easier to survive, really. Most of the time you're needing to roll a 5 or a 6 if you've got an AP one-shot. The only AP one-shots out there really are melters and special weapons. So vehicles are going to survive a lot more, and there are certain elements such as Smash, which has now hindered monstrous creatures, again making vehicles a little bit more survivable. Vehicles such as Skimmers though, they took a kind of hit really. Normally they get a jink save from moving. In 6th edition now you have to declare if you're jinking, which means you get a 4-up cover save but you're snap shooting, so lack of shots going out. So vehicles, Imperial vehicles are doing okay, and the flyers, like I said. So Space Marines, Chaos Space Marines, I guess Imperial Guard tanks, all got a bit of a boost, but I have always seen Skimmers as the best tanks out there, and then the Imperial tanks not so good. So maybe more and more Rhinos and Land Raiders will be on the tables now. Okay, so I briefly mentioned Smash. Now in the 6th edition, Smash attacks is what monstrous creatures can do. They essentially would half their attacks and they'd get strength 10 attacks. So if a monstrous creature had 4 attacks base and you decide to smash, you then have 2 strength 10 attacks to do in that combat. However, smash attacks now, you don't have your main attacks, you just have a 1 strength 10 attack, which for most monstrous creatures in the game they are strength 6. So they would be losing their vast amount of attacks to have this one, it's all or nothing hit. Now, 1 attack, if it's my rolling, is probably never going to go off, and it's quite detrimental to us Tyranid players, I think. Carnifex is, I think off the top of my head, strength 9 on base, and then Wraith Knights, the Eldar are strength 10 base, but things like Hive Tyrants, Trigons, Morlocks, and various other things of that variety and monster nature wise, strength 6. What are they going to do against monoliths or land raiders? I mean, if you think about it, for the Tyranids, what are they going to do? The highest strength weapon 99.9% of the time is strength 6. There is the Rupture Cannon, which is strength 10, but that's never going to hit, is it, or do real damage. So now, if you have your Winged Hive Tyrants and everything going up to go against tanks, and you have that Land Raider full of goodies on the inside, you can't shoot it, and you're probably not going to damage it, because say you get your attack through, you have to roll a 6 now to destroy it. If you have an AP2 weapon, +1 to the 6 is 7, 7 plus explodes the vehicle. Now remember, a 6 on the vehicle damage table is only an immobilised hit, so that tank will still be there. So yeah, monstrous creatures in that respect, they've been nerfed a bit, and I don't think they needed to. but it just means that there's going to be more and more and more and more vehicles out there, I think. What did work well for the monstrous creatures, for the flying monstrous creatures, is Vector Striker's AP2 hit now, base string. So that's not bad. So the Psychic Phase, a new element to the game. Well, not brand new. It's apparently, someone commented on my video, it was in, I think, 2nd or 3rd edition. But it's been a while since this has happened. Now, the Psychic Phase is good. I think it ties up a lot of psychic things. However, it is automatically unbelievably broken right now. I just saw a battle report. Timo Coop, or Timo Comp, I think their name is, their YouTube channel. I watch their YouTube stuff quite regularly, and they put out a battle report of Imperial Guard versus Daemons, and I think they had 5 or 6 Mastery level 3 units and a level 4, and then Brotherhood of Psychers, and rolling their d6 they had about a warp charge of about 30. They are always going to be making their psychic powers with that, and the army that's going against them are never going to beat them psychic wise. Now the demons psychic abilities, the malefic ones, which are amazing, are always going to go off, which essentially means in that army there was 7 psychers producing a minimum of about 10 demon models each if they went for the Primaris power for Malefic. So that's 70, for example, 70 Khorne bloodletters per turn. Just think about that. 70 per psychic phase. 5 turns in a game. 5 times 7. It's a lot. That's 350 demons extra. I hope it's 350, my maths isn't normally very good. Yeah, 350 bloodletters you could possibly have. Or I think plague bearers as well. By turn 5. That's insane. Now just imagine this. A kind of fluffy, unbound army. Greater Demon of Khorne, Greater Demon of Tzeentch, Greater Demon of Slaanesh, Greater Demon of Nurgle, and Fate Weaver, and 2 Demon Princes. And then whatever you have points wise left to get some heralds and some bits and bobs. And then just have them all go forward. Have the monstrous creatures try and take down vehicles and units while spawning loads and loads and loads of demons. You could have a herald just making demons at the back to kind of just take objectives from your side of the table to mid-table, and have everything else go on the attack. Imagine a flying monstrous creature turn 1. Vroom. 24 inches. It's the psychic phase. Boom. Oh, here's a load of demons. Just imagine it. This is crazy. So the psychic phase already, for certain armies, are a little bit broken. But the way it runs, I think it's a lot easier and simpler to understand. And I do like the psychic, psychic hood. Is it? No, not psychic hood. The ability that if your psyker knows all their psychic powers from one discipline, they get the Primaris for free. That's kind of cool and opens it up for more psychers across there, but demons are gonna be huge now. I briefly touched on Vector Strike. So Vector Strike AP2, great. So Winged Tyrants, Demon Princes, and also the Helldrake from the Chaos Space Marines can Vector Strike. More and more things to take down infantry, or other monstrous creatures, which is great. Again, it's at the base strength of the creature itself, so it's not going to be damaging a lot of vehicles. So yeah, Vector Strike has got a bit better for taking down infantry, so that's good. And it's just quite nice, I guess, for a Winged Titan to fly over a unit of Terminators and know that they're not going to get their save now. Chariots are better. They're better. They're better and amazing and better. Chariots are so powerful now. The Necron chariots especially. You have an overlord in that chariot. He is that unit. That is one amalgamation of what he is. He can't go out of the chariot, but when he comes back to life, which he probably will with a Resorb and ever living, the chariot comes back with him. That is awesome. When you shoot at him, the player owning the chariot can decide. These shots can either go against the rider or the chariot. So again, more survivable. And it's a vehicle, and it's got the special shielding Necron have, so it's going up from 11 to 13 until you get a penetrating hit. What can Tyranid players do against Necrons now with their awesome shooting and monoliths and chariots? So chariots are awesome. I think you're going to see a lot more Necron Catacomb command barges out there. They're great. So some of the armies that we play are Chaos Space Marines, generic Space Marines, Grey Knights, Space Wolves, Tau, Tyranids, Necrons, Eldar. I think that's everything. So I'm going to now talk about how it kind of affects them and how it will affect our league, our battle league that's going on right now. Okay, so Necrons. Vehicles are better, chariots are better. They're still able to glance vehicles to death, so even though vehicles have become more survivable, you can still glance them to death with the Necrons. And their vehicles are super ooper duper strong and full of hull points, and great weaponry, and you can play them in a variety of different ways, and the models look great. Necrons are still a top tier army for me. They are very, very dangerous, and if you have a mech Necron army coming at you, I expect them to do extremely well. And if when you see the battle report coming up, Necrons versus Tyranids, I'm going to predict that the Necrons, they're not going to be tabled, let's say that. So I don't think a lot of Tyranids will be left by turn 5. Necrons, this rulebook has helped your vehicles and your chariots. Okay, my lovely Tyranids, the ones I love and I have really enjoyed collecting, and then our codex came out and it was fine. I was fine with the fact that it wasn't as good as Eldar and Tau. It's still fun. What does this mean for me? The list I've written, which was a dual force, is now an unbound list, so I don't get any of the benefits, and I can't change my list in our battle league, which is my own fault, I guess, but I don't get any benefits now like bound armies will get. Vector striking, AP2, yeah, it's fine, good. Good against infantry, which is always right. Smash has nerfed the Tyranid monstrous creatures a hell of a lot. Now if you're expecting to take down those vehicles, it's a lot harder. Very, very hard. And our special ability, which was kind of cool, Shadow of the Warp, which I think, I don't have my codex to hand, and I haven't played Tyranids in about a month, but I think Shadow of the Warp, -3 to an enemy Psyker's leadership. Well, that doesn't really matter, because now the psychic phase is completely changed, and you no longer take a leadership test to pass the psychic power, you roll a 4-up. It's only going to affect them on Perils of the Warp table, because some of them you have to do a leadership test, and if you fail, then they die. So, if your opponent perils, then they're devastating. If they don't, haven't really affected them much, really. So Tyranids, I think, have gone down a bit, and that worries me because I love Tyranids. Okay, Space Marines, Grey Knights and Space Wolves, I'm going to keep them in the same little bubble. Space Marines have all the tools of the trade. They can do a lot. They've got their awesome vehicles. They've got heavy weapons. They've got heavy armour. They're still Space Marines. Space Marines are good. Space Marines, Space Wolves, Grey Knights can all be played in a few different ways and kitted out in a number of ways. And now Grey Knights have Santic powers, which, if there are a million demon players out there, good, because those powers are good against them. But yeah, they're good. They're still good. And now if you have vehicles with them, they're a little bit stronger, which is always great. I mean, there's not a huge amount of changes which has affected them. I mean, they don't really have the jinx, except for their flyers and stuff like that. So they're still good. That's all I can say. They're good. Chaos Space Marines. The Space Marines with an evil laugh and spiky bits. What do I think about them? Well, I think they got a huge boost with 7th edition. Why do I think that? Well, like I've said a lot, vehicles have got better. Their Helldrake can Vector Strike AP2. Their vehicles are now going to survive a lot longer. And you get a Demon Prince, which I'm pretty sure is classed as a demon. Give it some mastery levels. 1, maybe 2. Boom, you can use malefic powers. In the rulebook it states, if a demon uses malefic powers, it perils on a double 6 like normal. If any other army uses malefic powers, then they peril on a double. Chaos Space Marine Demon Prince. Give him Psycho Mastery level 2. Malefic powers. You can have your Chaos Space Marines summoning in demons, which to me, narratively and fluff-wise, makes sense and is brilliant. Your heavily armoured Chaos Space Marines can now have all these cheap units of demons running forward. Give wings to the Demon Prince as well. You can just fly up the flank and just have all these demons coming on. And then Helldrakes, it's just, oh, carnage. All you Chaos Space Marine players are going to be loving it. So Chaos Space Marine players have gone right up. And I think Chaos Space Marines, with that combination, are going to be hugely effective against most armies. Because Chaos Space Marine players, you have access to one of the best flyers in the game, if not the best flyer, demon vehicles, land raiders, predators and all that, and all these specialist troops that are tough, strong, great in combat, cultists, typhus, and now you can have demons on your side. Chaos Space Marine players, this is also your time to rejoice. Us Eldar players out there, what does it mean for us with these new rules? Well, the Wraith Knight is our big bad boy monstrous creature, and he's strength 10 anyway, so that smash doesn't really affect us, which is good. What does affect us is the way Jink is used now in the game. So our jet bikes, our Vipers and our Skimmers, which all have Jink, now are a little bit less survivable. Well, I say that. You get a 4-up cover save, but when you've done this Jink save, you're then shooting snapshots. So your jet bikes, you have to use them a little bit differently. Your Vipers and your Skimmers have to use them a little bit differently. You have your Wave Serpents there that don't automatically get their Jink save. So now when those shots are coming in, if you don't choose to use those the Jink save, you better hope you didn't use your shield. Because if they get that pen through, there ain't no save that's going to help you unless you're behind cover. And there's a lot of weapons out there that count their weapons as ignoring cover. So I'm a bit more tactical for the Eldar now, but they're still fast, they've still got the big guns, which is great, but Jink, that was our big thing. That helped our vehicles survive. So let's see how that plays out in the long term. Oh, and Psychers are great, and we have a lot of Psychers, and now our Warlocks, which are only leadership 8, that doesn't matter anymore because you don't roll leadership to do your psychic. To do a psychic test, you roll your 4-ups. So that has helped our Psychers out a lot, and you'll probably see more Warlocks now on Farseers being used. Definitely Farseers, but maybe some more Warlocks. Okay, Tau, one of the most powerful races out there, in my opinion. How has it affected them? Well, like I said with the Eldar, Jink was huge for their skimmers. Shooting is the same. They don't really have monstrous creatures except for the Riptide, but you're never really getting into close combat. You're never trying. That's not what you're trying to do. You try to shoot if you're Tau. The big thing, though, I think, is the Psychic. And seeing as you no longer have, well, I say no longer have, you don't have anything other than a D6 to generate dice so that you can do Deny the Witch. If your dice run out, or you're unable to do, like, roll your 6s, that's it. You have no modifiers to help you. And Psychic powers seems to be, it's going to be pretty huge in this edition. And the Tau don't really have anything that can stop it. Okay, so there we have it then. The big winners, I think, from 7th edition, or the armies that we play, are going to be Chaos Space Marines, and Demons are going to be great, and Necrons are even better now, and the Imperial army's got a big boost this edition, I think. Previous edition, I must admit, the Skimmers having Jink save automatically did make Eldar and Tau quite powerful. Now that's been reduced a bit and maybe balances it out a little bit more, and you might be seeing now a shift, because in our local meta, Tau and Eldar are the best. Tyranids are kind of there, and Tyranids got a little bit of nerf with Smash, so now the other armies got a bit better. So you guys out there that were at the bottom of the pack now have more of a chance to be winning those games or those tournaments if you do go to the tournament scene. And like I said, I think there's going to be a lot more Demon players. And I myself am possibly contemplating looking at some Demon armies. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to be doing another video, hopefully this week, about our up and coming Winter's Cup. Now, at Christmas time, we do a big kind of competition. We go to Warhammer World in Nottingham and do a big tournament. So this year, we get to take 2 armies, 2,000 points. Can't have allies? That's kind of all we've really said. So you can have a bound army or an unbound army. And I'm wondering what I should take now. So if you were going to a tournament, what armies would you take to the tournament now? And why? Please leave a comment below about that, and please like, share and subscribe to my channel. And I've been Xenovids, and I will see you on my next video.